All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It is Thursday, which means because we are here, it is either the first or third Thursday at 2 p.m., because that is when we go live and we interact with you guys and we bring you real people, real resources, real conversation. Last time we spoke about mission statements and we spoke about our why and why mission statements were so important because they are the foundation to our businesses and our personal lives. We spoke about that as well. And in over that time, so it's been 2 weeks, and I know a lot of things have happened in my life, at work, personally, and I'm assuming for you as well. And I hope the conversations that we had resonated so that we can continue that conversation. So, what I thought was important was to bring someone on who actually lived exactly what we're speaking about. Mission statement created, mission statement lived, sustained a business. 40 years, it is still running, and she has remained true to her mission statement. So, I thought it would be great for us to have that conversation with someone who literally has done it. So, we have Miss Linda Hatchell on the call with us, along with Dr. Obiama Martin, and we are going to have the conversation about mission statement. How did you get started? What did it take to maintain your mission? And give us some tips and insights. So we'll get started. So Miss Linda, welcome and thank you for coming on the Impact Podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody.
So of course, I believe so many of these conversations start with the why. Can you tell us what was your why and what created your business, your foundation? How did you begin this work?
Well, because I didn't allow my kids to go sit on someone else's step or go visit their friends, I brought the children to me. I brought the neighbor kids, the my neighborhood, we were very, very close. And I would say, can your daughter come over with my daughter? Can your son come play with my son? Can they go to the store with me? And we end up a very close relationship through the whole block. Like the kids, when they see me, hi, can I go with you? Can I go with you? Yes, you can. So people start asking me if can my daughter come over for a little while? I need to make a run. I fell in love with it. It it there was Halloween was coming up. So I thought about let me decorate my basement and have a Halloween party. We had such a good time. The parents, we all got involved and brought some things for the children. And from then on, it went. I started with the Indian family, then a Jamaican family, and before you knew it, I had all walks of life in my home. So I decided, you know what? I don't have to go out the house. I don't have to go to work. I'm gonna start me a business, and I'll have my own kids. And that's where it started from, in my own home.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, right? Wow.
That
So,
reminds me of yours, though. That reminds me of your story, Obiama.
yeah, very, very similar. Absolutely, very similar. And so, what's interesting though, because we talked about this all the times in terms of like starting and not having a real mission, just kind of you see the need and then you fulfill the need, and that's basically what you did. You out of the kindness of your heart, you saw that a parent was struggling and you opened up your
Mhm.
doors and was like, oh, I can really do this. Let me do this.
But I already had a mission.
Uh-huh.
Already had a mission. I done floral arrangement. So I had a store open up, but everything I was putting out, it was going back out. Everything I put in, it was going back out. I decided to come home, do it at home, and got involved with the children. So I had two things going on and kept up with it.
Yeah. Well, because that's just who you are, though.
Serial entrepreneur. Yes.
Yeah.
So the statistics a lot of times around businesses and their survival is typically 3 to 5 years. You get past that hump, you can kind of consider yourself, okay, I've made it. Not to say that you have to be able to sustain it, but the rule of thumb is you want to get beyond 3 to 5 years. You've hit 40. You've hit 40 years.
Yes.
What would you say you have done for you to beat the odds? Right. A lot of people don't make it to 40 years. How did you make it to 40 years?
Devoted in what I was involved in. I turned around and opened up 3 buildings. I ran back and forth, and I don't drive. So you don't need a car. You don't need a car.
That part.
Most people didn't believe if someone saw me on the bus and they say, "What are you doing on the bus?" I said, "This is my insurance here. I got TransPass. This is my insurance card. I could go anywhere I wanted to go, but I always can get a ride to get whatever I needed." But I enjoyed getting on the bus, taking my kids where we could go up and down the street, stay out all day. At the same token, I was learning out there. I was seeing somebody else's trash that became my treasure. And I started with crates and wood that was on the street. You name it, I claimed it. But I put it to good use and turned around and showed other people what I'd done. And you can do it. If you want to, you can.
And Ms. Linda, that's what I absolutely love and appreciate about everything you do, because you still do it now and you don't have to do it now. And I think that like all that you have is kind of lost because people, I feel, in my opinion, that
Yes.
they want everything overnight. It's a very microwave, like the sweat equity isn't there, the time, the devotion, the commitment, which is all in alignment with your mission. And you're
Yes.
still like 40 years later, you're still so committed to your mission as if you've never lost a beat. And I thought that you drove and you get sit done on a bus in somebody else's car. You get sit
Yes.
done, right? And so, but what is really honorable about the legacy that you've created is that there's no excuse for anybody not to do what it is that they want to do, because when you didn't have it in abundance, you were able to be creative and take whatever you had and you made it work and you made it stretch.
Yes.
You made
Yes.
it work and you made it stretch.
Yes.
That I did. And I'm still doing it today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's kind of hard to work with people, because I like to do it the long, hard way.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter always said, "Why do you go that far? Don't worry about it. It's okay." And no, this is the way you do it. So I guess I'm just old fashioned, like it the hard way. I appreciate it the most. And I don't just sit down and wait for somebody to give me a helping hand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
Right. Well, what I hear you say though is the foundation. So it's not even so much the hard way. It's just that it's like when you are making repairs on a building. The difference between getting someone that is skilled and that is an expert and that is licensed and insured versus
Yes.
a handyman who will fix it, but it will be fixed temporarily.
But it's gonna cost me more money.
It's gonna cost you more money, but see, us young people, we don't, we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. And we be like, why gotta take that long? Well, because it's the foundation
Yes.
that has to get laid so that it lasts 10, 20, 30 years. You get Joe Blow from down the street, it's going to last for about a week or two, and then you're going to have to call somebody else.
Yes.
So what I hear you saying is, no, what I know is that when I take my time and put in this sweat equity, I ain't got to worry about it no more. It's done.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And when you speak about, when you mention the foundation, and I always talk about it when I talk about the history of our programs, right? The stuff that was done, right? So the program started in your home, in the basement. Those foundational things included families, right? That's how it started. Other families came right? So families is a part of the foundation.
Generation from generation.
Yeah, generation to generation, literally.
Yes.
And then home cooked meals, right? You'll still cook
the only way.
Home cooked meals, and just taking care of the village, like being a part of the village. So sometimes like you said, you're old school. You have a lot of people come in, different generations, and they don't necessarily see the value of reputation, which is why that's one of our core values. But not understanding that you've made it this far because you set the foundation and you constantly go back to those very values that kept you, that allowed you to stay here. People still come back for it. That's the thing. They still come back for Miss Linda because they know their children will be taken care of. They're going to have hot meals. When families have situations, there is a level of empathy, connection, and quality care. But when Obiama mentioned foundation, it made me think about those things that began in the home when you started 3 years ago, and it literally still happens today, which is a part of the mission. So,
well, you have to be involved with the parent. You have to be. You know what I mean? Like you feel like those children belong to you.
Yes.
Regardless, you know, I can't say I can't keep you to 5:30. If this parent have a problem, I got you. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And these people make you want to do for them. They respect you. They support you. They spread the word. This is where you go. I never thought I would still be involved. But I live and breathe it.
Yes, you do.
and
Can't make you stay home. Can't make you stay home.
No.
You, as long as there's breath in your body, you pain, sick, whatever. Because I got the.
Yes.
But it keep you living.
Yeah.
At least it keeps me living.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have anything else but these children that are in need.
Well, that goes back to mission, right? That
Yes.
goes back to mission because 40 years later, your mission is still speaking.
Yes.
40 years later, your mission is still alive.
Yes.
And 40 years later, your mission is still feeding everybody around you.
Literally. Yes.
Yeah. Now that's a strong mission statement right there. You can say 40 years later, we still eating.
Yes.
But it's been my goal. It's been my mission. And I'm hoping to take these babies as well as the children I have today. A lot of them are children I had when they were infant, when they were newborn baby. And they come all the way and say, you have to take care of my kid. I say, that's the only way.
Yes.
And it's not about $1. You know, it's what you live and breathe. You're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And that's the passion. That's the passion that shows through, because a lot of time, again, when we're talking mission and what actually shows in what you do every day, if it's only about the money, it will show. When it's about passion, it will show. And then you mentioned, you know, you're willing to do for families. A lot of times that's because they know that you really care. and they support the program, and they're giving back what you give to them. I know every family, every child isn't perfect, but you know, when we're sowing seeds into children and families, that's the other thing, is that who we take care of each and every day directly is the child, but we also have to be connected with the family. You can't have one without the other. So making an impact on the family is good for the child as well. So the fact that, again, it started with families, and families are still a huge part of who you love to serve, as well as the children, you know, it's like
but it's not really about you, because there's so many people who have came to my place and never knew I was the owner, because I would never let you know I was the owner. I say I'm a worker, you know. So it's all about how you want to treat your business. You want to be there for the customers, or you want to be there for the no.
And you know what, to your point, Ms. Linda, to your point, and your leadership, right? Your leadership, because also your mission is what allowed you to have so many staff over the years that have stayed with you as well. So that's the other part I definitely want to highlight, because when we think about staff retention, and especially in this current climate where people are literally fighting to retain staff, and I think about the people that have been with you for years and years and years, and even the people that are currently with you, like they want to stay, because it's like, well, I see what Ms. Linda is doing. You know, if Ms. Linda is doing it, I don't have no excuse, right? And then you have Aaliyah, who is right behind that. And so y'all leadership says we are servants first. Is no, you know, big I, little you, which has everything to do with your mission, and you make it easy for those that come behind you and work with you and for you to follow, because of how you lead.
And that's something really important to even think about, that these people, they never leave. They stay right with me. They stay right with Leah, and Leah took it to a triple, double level, and they, oh, I'm not going nowhere. You know, they feel comfortable. They feel secure.
Yeah. They feel safe. They feel supported. They feel heard.
Very supportive. We all cry.
It's a right. We're still talking about family. We're still talking about family. Yeah.
The job still goes on.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because your staff becomes a part of that extension. You know, the staff becomes your family. And so then everything that you are teaching, like your mission, becomes so embodied and embedded all at the same time. It's so embedded in everything that everybody that comes to experience, whether they're at Pratt or Bustleton, is like, I want more of this. Can I borrow it? Can I take it home? Can I, like, I don't want this to ever run out. And
that's
people
exactly what they say.
Programs, like,
right.
Yes.
So I know the mission, because I don't even know. We may have mentioned it on the last podcast, but the mission of Pratt Street Learning Center, Bustleton Learning Center, Linda's Kids Are Special, like all of the programs that have been touched by Miss Linda, is educating children, supporting and partnering with families, as well as a community. That has always been, and the community includes staff as well. So all of these different factors are actually one. And it makes me think about just the relationships that have been built and that continue on. I mean, like Obiama, we met you how many years just being a part of organization?
Oh my goodness.
How many years ago, just being a part of. Right. It may not necessarily be in the exact same zip code, but being a part of a community that you want to create a an impact, a greater impact. You make these connections, and it's collaborations, partnerships, and relationships. And I say that too because even I know there's some things that's not necessarily my strong suit, but I'm going to partner with the person who is, so that we can be that much of a greater organization. So my mom has the child care side down pat, relationships with families, all of those things. When I come in, I added the business side, but still carried on what was already the foundation. You cannot come into our programs and not buy into what the mission is. And then partnering with other people and organizations and staff who have the same values, but can add something else that creates the magic that happens every day. So I say that to say it's not Aaliyah alone, it's not Miss Linda alone, it's not Obiama alone, but together.
Yes.
The impact.
That's the only way it works.
The impact.
The only way. Yes.
And we can't be afraid to, right? I can't, I tell the staff a lot of times, it's not, you're saying thank you to me. It's not me. You guys are on the front line every single day. It is us together, including.
Without them, we couldn't make it. We couldn't do it.
Yes. Yeah. So, so I think about too, because I definitely don't want people to think that it's been without any obstacles, right? So I know you've experienced many obstacles along the way, right? Because people, especially in today's time, we deal with stuff. So I don't want anybody to think it's been 40 easy, smooth years. So is there anything you want to share that you overcame? We're still talking about you're here 40 years later, thriving, but what are some of those obstacles you were able to overcome, but still be here today, creating even greater impact?
You're asking me? Let me tell you. I had two staff that had an altercation, and the state had to come out. I had nothing to do with it, and it had nothing to do with the building. But behind that, I had to have two buildings closed down. I said, the devil is a liar. I kept on getting up. I kept on working every day. They say, you're no joke. You mean this? I said, yes, I do. I said, I had nothing to do with it. I'm here for the kids. It's not about you. But if this would had to happen because they were in my business, on my premises, I had to eat it. But it was okay because I came out double. I kept it going. I didn't lay down, cry, sleep. I never missed a day. So you can't just give up on your goal, on what you wanted out there for these families, these children. Doesn't matter what you do. If you make clothes, don't give up on your material, go buy it somewhere else. If you cook, don't stop cooking, make another meal. I wouldn't give up. I'm still here, and I could tell the story.
Still, and like you said, doubled after. Still
doubled.
Got double for your trouble.
Yes.
And we spoke about in some of the previous podcasts, and I'm sure we'll get on it again, just the importance of, right, the foundation is our mission. This is who we are every single day, but we still have to create those systems and those policies and procedures as well, so that we could, prevent things that could affect our program as much as possible. There are things we know that happen.
No control.
Right. But we're talking about the foundation, which is a mission statement. It starts there. And then on top of that, in order to exude exactly what it is that we say we're doing, we're going to have these policies and procedures in place so that it's very clear who we are and what the expectations are from all of us when you enter this program. So those are the type of things that we learn from and we try to prevent going forward as we build these high quality programs that are not just here for today, but are lasting legacies, such as 40-year-old businesses that are still serving children and families today. So we literally have people on here. I know Ms. Erica is on here, and you took care of her kids. They're in their 20s now. And Kelly Brown worked with Kelly. Kelly was a part of our program. We were star one. We just started. This has started. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And that was every bit of 10
long
years.
time ago. That was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
Still partnering together.
Oh my goodness.
So lastly, unless Obiama has a question after that.
Real quick, what I was going to say back to the mission, and this is what we talked about, I think, in our last episode about even with the mission, how hiring people, right, who is in alignment, meaning that they have a personal mission for themselves. And when you hire them, when you're recruiting, how does their mission align with your mission?
Yes, absolutely. So
the question is, over the years, with all the things that you learned, and I want to say this too, before we move on with it hasn't been perfect. I don't want anybody to think that it was easy. And I think that that's the other piece of this, that people, at least today, over the last few years, look at childcare like this easy cash cow. I'm going to open up a daycare and make this money. And if they could only understand a snapshot of the sacrifice, because what I do want to say to those that are listening is what you guys don't see is the late nights, the early mornings, the weekends. Like you don't see the paintbrush and the paint can and the tools and that's what you don't see. You don't see the glue that's holding it all together. So beyond the money that's coming in, how is the program, the physical program, maintained? The commitment that both Ms. Linda and Aaliyah have to ensuring that when their families show up, it is always safe from a structural perspective and also in terms of the staff. And that takes a whole lot of work because there are so many ups and downs and personalities and, and all those different things. And, you talked briefly about those two people that cost you your program that for somebody else in this day and age, they would be in jail. They would be in jail because they wouldn't be. I ain't going to talk about nobody else. I'm talking about me. How about that? I don't know that I would have been able to kind of turn my cheek after I done put in sweat equity to get these 3 buildings and to keep it pushing. Like that's another level of commitment when we talk about mission, because that was your everything and you didn't allow it to stop you. Right. No. And so there's going to be adversity. There's going to be opposition. There's going to be all this kind of craziness. But you was able to say, I'm not going to allow those things to distract me. And I'm going to stay true to the mission of serving these families and showing up for these families. So that's also commendable as well. And again, as we think about, I'm in and out of programs. People are not operating like that across the globe.
No.
So I just kind of want to pause and highlight that because that's important when we talk about, mission and the people that work with you and for you. You can't control what somebody else do, but you can control how you respond.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, Leah.
Absolutely. No, that was it. I remember when I wasn't a part of it. I remember my dad would say, and I'll be like, I just don't understand. Like, why are you still working? Why are you doing this? Why are you you don't get it. You don't understand.
You don't.
Because you're not in it. And you also know when you know that a child or a family has experiences, in their homes, or that a staff person had personal experiences, or you're literally
Nobody knows.
you don't know. And when these are your people, so we talk at night, we still talking about work. So okay, so this is what took place today. This is what we gonna do. Okay, what can we do? What can we buy? What can we, when we started the finance series, I remember we recently just started taking like owners equity. We just started taking the profits. Literally, it would be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a whole new play yard. We constantly reinvested every year, and then it was like, okay, well, we can't buy another thing. Now we can invest in the staff. We have health insurance now. That's an investment because staff are in need of it. But then it was like, okay, now it's time to take care of ourselves as well. And in this field, a lot of times, unlike corporate, you have staff who have been in early childhood education and they don't have investments. They don't have simple IRA retirement plans, 401k plans, health insurance, life insurance, right? Those type things. So they were areas that we started investing that money in because, we didn't need to buy more toys, but we also needed to make sure as the owners and someone who's been in this 40 years that when she is ready, she can. She can. That's sometimes like, Mom, you don't have to do that, right? And she doesn't. But we do have to be smart about our finances, which is why we had Finance February and why we had Mr. Steve on, the CPA, because he taught us profit first and just how to move our money differently so that we could be sustainable in our personal lives as well as smarter business owners. So all of these things work hand in hand, but it just made me think about how a lot of times people don't understand, like you said, what really goes into this work. It's not 9 to 5. It's not even a 12-hour a day job. It is
7-day week.
It is. And we're working smarter, not harder. However, you're constantly wanting to give more. You want to give more. So, we're it's a beautiful thing though. And it is pretty much like, it's like contagious. It's contagious where you want.
It's contagious.
It's contagious. It's like, wait, you're giving more. I have to. You can't be around Miss Linda and not be ready to level up. You can't.
You cannot. For sure.
I mean, so. What would you say still motivates you? I would think I know the answer. Maybe everyone else does based on what you said, but what still motivates you?
When I put the key in the door, and before I can make a move, the doorbell is ringing.
Yes.
That little kid is asking for help.
Yes.
And I'm going to be there. I hope I'm going to be there.
Wow.
I won't even let anybody open the door.
No.
I'm trying. But you don't understand. Even some people who retired and they're sitting down, they wish they could have. And I might wish I had took a day off here or there. But I get my time. But it's nothing like approaching the building in the morning. Nothing. You can't take that away from me right now because I'm not ready.
We know.
And again, it's not about $1. And I think most people, no matter what business you get into, you can't make it be $1. Like, you got to totally want it. Let it be your baby, be you, and you will gain something. I never thought about the $1. When I had to get another building and another building, I didn't even know I had the $1. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
You know, I was scared I was going to miss something, but it's the truth. You know, but it paid off. My kids was able to finish school. It paid off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's where I was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It was about my kids getting educated. So it was worth the work.
Wow.
Mhm.
Legacy.
Right, that's it.
Legacy.
That's it. I'll definitely. This is so applicable. Kelly Brown said, "Mothers always last." Thank you for your leadership and investment in your families and staff. Your rewards are well deserved for the sacrifices you've made, and that's what happens when you stay true to your why, your mission statement,
Yes.
well defined. You
Yes.
live it, you breathe it. That is who you are, unapologetically, and families will continue to come when you live in your true self,
Mm-hmm.
and what you offer is there's nothing behind it. You could tell that it's not about money. You could tell. Oh my goodness, parents would come in and be like, "Oh, it smelled like it's you smell." You could tell it got cleaned. Right? Is that much? We couldn't.
Let's not just say the parent. The state come in and say, "How do you do it?"
Yep.
I
It's
need
those
you.
things. Yeah, it's those things. It's those things though that people see. They even if they say it or not, it's those things that they see each and every day. Whether it's I know Ms. Linda's going to be there at 6 a.m. or whether it's because I smell it when I come in or I see Ms. Linda cleaning. We could never hire cleaning companies because they were never good enough. Because wait a minute, if you come in and you see the floor shining because it was waxed, Miss Linda was here. It's those things, but it's those things though that it goes back to just the experiences that she always wanted children and families, staff, the community to experience, and that won't stop. It won't stop. It's the legacy.
It's the legacy.
Yes.
Well, this has been such a wholesome show, a wholesome episode. I'm so full. Like I'm sitting here just like all these nuggets, right? So many nuggets, and this is definitely one for the books.
Yes.
So make sure you save
I
this.
forgot about it. I work so hard, I forget about it. I just think it's the norm. Get up and go.
Yeah.
Be with the kids. So
which is why it was really important too. And I would encourage all of the watchers at some point, whoever that person is who you know have made an impact, whether on you, your children, in your community, that you give them their flowers now.
Yes.
We do too much of this when they're we want to tell them we want to be at their funeral afterwards. You say these are all the things that they've done, but we don't do it while they're here. So, when we celebrated in October, Miss Linda's 40-year legacy, we had generations of children show up, the state inspectors show up, just people staff who were employed 20 years plus. And it was over 100 people coming to give you your flowers. And so we have to do that. We have to do more of that, where we're appreciating people and letting them know the impact that they're making in our lives every single day. Our children's teachers, our parents, whoever that is, right? Because we're one community, we have to spread that love and give people their flowers now. So that was supposed to be a reminder to you. You may have forgotten all of it.
It was. I thought I was Oprah. I did.
But you know what? For many, you was.
Never forget that.
Yeah. I said for many, you was.
Yes.
I was Oprah. You don't have to tell me.
Yes. Yes.
I was Obama. I was Michelle.
Yes.
You couldn't tell me.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. I'll never forget that. I'm still waking up on that.
So thank you, Ms. Linda, for joining us on the Impact Podcast. Thank you, Dr. Obiama
Thank you.
Martin, again, and thank you for for those who have watched, participated. Thank you so much. Continue to let us know what are some topics that you would love for us to cover. Is there someone you feel who should be on the podcast because they align with what it is that we do, our mission? Real people, real conversations, real resources, and the purpose is to bring light to and have conversations about what's going on in the childcare industry, entrepreneurship, business world. Even we're human, so we're mothers, we're daughters, we're family members, but we're also community members who make impact. So that's what this platform is all about: is make an impact, whoever you are, wherever you are. So thank you for joining us. Like us on YouTube. Aaliyah Johnson Roberts on YouTube, but I'll post that as well. But like us, you'll be able to watch the replays and things like that. But thank you again. Have an amazing Thursday, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.